Hello, friends. A good morning to you. Time for the morning wake up here on Steve Shetler Media on a Tuesday morning, March 12th. Hope you're off to a good start today on this Tuesday. We are brought to us by Home Plate Sports Cards in Oskaloosa, 1516 A Avenue East in Oskaloosa. Call 641-676-1516. You can stop into Home Plate Sports Cards Wednesday through Friday, 5:30 to 8:30 p.m., Saturday noon to 6, and Sunday noon to 4. There's no place like Home Plate Sports Cards in Oskaloosa. They bring us our morning wake-up here on Steve Shetler Media. We thank Eddie Pearson at Home Plate Sports Cards. Let's get a look at our forecast to start things off today, as it's sponsored by the Garden Gate, 105 South Jefferson in Sigourney, 641-622-3191. Hours Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 9 to noon. They've got fresh floral arrangements, jewelry, home decor, sympathy gifts. They got something for everyone at the Garden Gate in Sigourney. Our weather for today, it's going to be a little bit windy. Otherwise nice, partly sunny and 71, but southwest winds will be gusting up to about 30 miles per hour today. So windy, but nice temperatures. For tonight, a 30% chance of some showers and thunderstorms, and cloudy, a low of 46. Tomorrow, partly sunny and 70, and east winds not too bad tomorrow, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Rain is likely tomorrow night with maybe a thunderstorm. Rain chance at 90% and a low of 52. Rain and maybe a thunderstorm on Thursday with a high of 67. Currently here in southeast Iowa, humidity at 66%, wind speeds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour, and the barometric pressure at 29.84, 50 degrees to kick off our Tuesday morning. Your weather brought to us by the Garden Gate in Sigourney. Coming up at noon today, we'll release our question of the day. It's always brought to us by Amy's Salon House and Spa at 202 North Main in Sigourney. And they've got hair services, spa services, extensions, products, and tanning, and more. Your question for today, what are the best perks at work? What are the best perks at the job that you are working right now? What do you think? Mine is I can do whatever I want. I'm the boss. I can do whatever the heck if I want to take a nap. I like to talk about taking naps. I like to take a nap, so I do. So yeah, that's a perk. I can nap when I want at Steve Shetler Media. So I'm the only employee at Steve Shetler Media. I'm the boss and the employee. So what are the best perks at work? What are the benefits? Are they actual benefits like insurance, or is your job flexible with letting you take time off to, maybe leave work early to go see one of your kids' games or something like that? So that'll be our question of the day, brought to us by Amy's Salon House and Spa. That goes out at noon on the Steve Shetler Media Facebook page. Already released earlier this morning was our This or That from Stacy Flynn at Legacy Insurance Group and Welcome Realty. And today we're looking at a traditional kitchen or a modern kitchen. Which one do you like? We're just wanting your opinion. You can comment. Look for that post that was put out just a little bit earlier today. So our daily This or That, traditional kitchen or modern kitchen, brought to us by Legacy Insurance Group and Welcome Realty in Sigourney. Let's see here. Coming up on Friday, we will have our Iowa Music Showcase live at Barnwired in Sigourney. We'll have Brittany Sword coming to town. Live interview, live original tunes from Brittany Sword. That's this Friday from 11:30 to noon. Brittany Sword on our Iowa Music Showcase. Saturday, we have the sports section live from Brothers Market in Sigourney. I think we're going to have Eddie Conrad as our guest host this Saturday morning. So that's always fun. Eddie's a fun guy. He's excitable, and he likes to do this announcer gig. So we'll have Eddie filling in for Coach Hobbs on our sports section. Speaking of Brothers Market, best wishes to you, Rick. I know Rick Landgrebe just posted on his personal Facebook page that they had a little bit of a fire out at the Landgrebe residence this morning. So, Rick, we're thinking of you. If you need anything, just let us know here at Steve Shetler Media. Rick Landgrebe, we're wishing you guys the best. Let's see here. Also going on Steve Shetler Media Facebook is our 90s Country Male Superstar Tournament. It's for the fun of it tournament. Our topic is 90s Country Male Superstar. We had Garth Brooks defeating Clint Black in the first round. And then our current matchup, which you can vote on, is George Strait versus Dwight Yoakam. So you got Garth moving on the left-hand side there. Oh, and then over on the right-hand side, you've got George Strait versus Dwight Yoakam right now. That voting went up last night, so just scroll back through my Facebook feed for George Strait versus Dwight Yoakam. Hit the thumbs up for George Strait. Give a heart for Dwight Yoakam. Do that in the reactions where, you can, they give you the options of, like the thumbs up, the heart, the smiley face, the shocked face, whatever. Bring those up. Give a like, a thumbs up for George Strait. Give a heart for Dwight Yoakam, and get your vote in for the fun of it tournament. 90s Country Male Superstar is what we're voting on this month. I think we're going to make that a monthly thing here on Steve Shetler Media. So that's kind of fun there. All right, I think we got through a lot of our normal stuff here. Let's go ahead and jump into the morning wake up again, brought to us by Home Plate Sports Cards, and we're live at Oski Dental Studios. Let's go ahead and do some birthdays. Birthdays. Happy birthday. All right, birthdays for today. We've got the old person on the list today. The elderly celebrity is Andrew Young, turning 92, former mayor of Atlanta and a civil rights leader. So Andrew Young is the old guy on the celebrity list today, 92 years old. Also on our celebrity birthday list, actress Barbara Feldon. That name might not ring a bell, but she was Agent 99 from Get Smart from way back when, turning 91 years old. I remember watching Get Smart reruns when I was a kid. So, again, Agent 99 turning 91. Let's see here. Singer-actress Liza Minnelli is 78 years old. We've got Senator Mitt Romney turning 77. Singer-songwriter James Taylor, 76. John Provost, the actor. He's actually from Lassie, way back when. Timmy, little Timmy from Lassie, the little kid, turning 74 years old today. He's not a little kid anymore. So your baseball player, Dale Murphy. Dale Murphy was one of my favorite baseball players when I was a kid. He played for the Atlanta Braves, hit a lot of home runs. Great baseball player, Dale Murphy of the Braves, 68 years old today. Singer Marlon Jackson of the Jacksons, Jackson 5. Marlon, turning 67. Got the baseball player Darryl Strawberry, another guy that could hit some home runs. Tall, lean Darryl Strawberry of the Mets and the Dodgers, 62. And then actor Aaron Eckhart was in The Dark Knight, Aaron Brockovich, tons of other movies. 56 years old for Aaron Eckhart. Those are our celebrity birthdays for today. I haven't gotten to my good mornings. Good morning to you, Dan, Dodie, Tracy. Yes, it's windy out. Rebecca, Bruce, my top follower, Bruce. Tamara, Dixie, Eloise, good morning to you all. Hope you're off to a good start on this Tuesday. On this date in history, on March 12th, it was on this date, 1896, spitting was officially banned in New York City. I wonder how that went back in 1896. No spitting in New York City. On this date, in 1903, baseball's American League officially approved the New York Highlanders, which eventually became the Yankees. So a big day in baseball. And it was on this day in 1912, Captain Albert Berry became the first person to parachute out of a plane. So that took some guts. 1912, Albert Berry parachuting, the first guy to parachute out of a plane. Today is, on the National Day calendar, it's National Working Moms Day. So we celebrate you working moms out there today. It's National Baked Scallops Day. It's National Plant a Flower Day. And it's National Girl Scout Day. So enjoy those days on your National Day calendar. Let's do some things you need to know. Woo! All right. Things you need to know on this March 12th. New research has revealed that several Christopher Nolan movies saw a huge jump in online searches following the Directors Academy Award wins on Sunday. Of course, he directed Oppenheimer. He's done such movies as Dunkirk, Inception, The Dark Knight, Memento. So, people very interested in Christopher Nolan movies right now. If you've never seen that movie, Memento, which I just mentioned, that is a good movie. That came out, I don't know, at least 20 years ago. But that's a good one. If you've never seen it, check that out. Let's see here. Other things you need to know. During her concert in L.A. last week, Madonna, she got on somebody's case for not standing up and dancing during the concert. Turns out that fan was in a wheelchair. Whoops. How about this one? 41,000 people were gathered at Houston's Minute Maid Park to watch the Savannah Bananas baseball team play. You know, they're kind of like the Harlem Globetrotters, except in, I guess, baseball form. When none other than 61-year-old, 7-time Cy Young Award winner Roger Clemens showed up. He actually pitched, and he gave up 3 hits, including a home run. So, the party animals, the opposing team, got some hits off of Roger Clemens. Other sports news, former Seahawks quarterback and now former Denver Broncos quarterback, Russell Wilson, is now going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we'll see how Russell Wilson fits in there. If you watched True Detective, what was it called? Night Country? North Country? Something? I don't know. Whatever it was called on HBO Max. As much as you may have liked Jodie Foster in season 4 of True Detective, it is definitely a one and done. She says she will not be back for a season 5, which, if I understand it right, they don't really follow the same characters and timeline anyway, so I don't know. Other things you need to know. Ron Howard says you may not have noticed all of these years, but he has actually snuck his wife Cheryl into every single movie he has ever made. He says she's made a cameo in every single film ever since he was in the 11th grade making movies. So Ron Howard and his wife, he always gets her in. You just have to keep an eye out for her. How about Caitlin Clark here in Iowa? She has signed a lucrative endorsement deal with Panini, one of the prominent sports and entertainment collectibles companies that feature trading cards and signed memorabilia. So Caitlin Clark going to continue to roll in that big money. Good for her. Bitcoin has gone beyond the $72,000 mark for the first time. So you might want to invest in Bitcoin. The movie The Holdovers, that's a really good movie. We watched that on, I believe, Peacock. I think it was on Peacock. The screenwriter now claiming that the script from The Holdovers was stolen from a script that he wrote years ago. So we'll see if that goes anywhere legally. Out in Denver, lawmakers are considering a bill that would only allow restaurants to offer milk or water to children on their menus. So no sweet stuff, no soda pop, just milk or water for kids in Denver. We'll see if that passes. And also, just in time for St. Patrick's Day coming up, let's see here. Krispy Kreme has 4 new flavors of donuts, and they're green. You might want to check out the Luck of the Rainbow donut. They've also got the Shamrock Cookies and Cream donut, the Plaid Party donut, and the Shooting Shamrock donut. Those are St. Patrick's Day donuts for Krispy Kreme. Let's do today's impossible question. Today's impossible question. 20% of people in a recent survey for insurance said that what caused them to get into an accident? What do you think? Again, 20% of people in a recent insurance survey said that blank caused them to get into an accident. I should ask my wife this, see if she would know the answer. The answer is picking their nose. Yeah, I wasn't picking my nose for the fun of it. For the fun of it there. Picking their nose. People get in accidents because they're picking. I mean, you must really be up in there if it causes you to get into a car accident. Really? Picking your nose? Oh, you knuckle deep in there? So pull your finger out of your nose and concentrate on driving. Let's go to the weird here on The Morning Wake Up.
That is weird.
And some weird, well, if you're the owner of a pricey beachfront home that keeps being threatened by violent storms and high tides, you might want to protect your investment. The residents of Salisbury, Massachusetts, who a TV station reports were hit by 2 big storms and a lot of erosion in January that encroached on their homes. The newspaper, the Salisbury Beach Citizens for Change, faced with no immediate promises from local or state officials. So it sounds like nobody was really going to help these people out with their oceanfront properties. They filed an emergency action in January, allowing them to put up a new barrier dune, which they did to the tune of $500,000 out of their own pockets. So again, these people looking for ways to hold off the water and fight back with the erosion that had happened. They invested $500,000 of their own money to build a new sand dune to try to protect their pricey beachfront homes. 14,000 tons of sand. The thing is, that work was to be completed this Friday. But some 72 hours later, actually, it was completed on this past Friday. I got that wrong. It was completed this past Friday. 3 days later, all that sand, 14,000 tons of sand, $500,000 worth of sand that they had personally invested in, washed away already. So homeowners are calling the situation catastrophic. They don't know what to do with that. So again, those homeowners, beachfront owners, putting $500,000 into sand already, all of it washed away. That out in Massachusetts. How about this from the weird? A guy named Peter Kastner has seen in his lifetime, he has seen 10,000 different bird species. One guy has seen 10,000 different types of birds, which, if you're not familiar with what they would call birding, that sounds pretty impressive. You see 10,000 birds. But if you're familiar with looking at birds, it's unprecedented. Last month, the 70-year-old retired American diplomat became the first person to log 10,000 different species. He's the first person to see that many birds. Kastner traveled to the Philippines, where he spotted and photographed an orange-tufted spider hunter. And this is a bird. Kastner already was number 1 in the world with documented sightings, but the bird gave him that milestone. Now, the world has, they're guesstimating around 11,000 bird species. That's according to the New York Times, meaning Kastner has now seen the vast majority of birds in the entire world. Only about 60 people have cracked the 8,000 mark, and about 20 have hit 9,000. But this guy hitting 10,000. He has seen with his own eyes, documented 10,000 bird species. That is pretty incredible. So I don't know if this is so much weird as it's just interesting. The NBA has fined Minnesota center Rudy Gobert. Gobert? Is it Gobert or Gobert? I'm not sure. $100,000 they fined him on Sunday, 2 days after he implied that referee Scott Foster wasn't calling games fairly, and further suggested that gambling is having a detrimental impact on the outcome of the game. Now, the fine is the maximum that the NBA could give under terms of the collective bargaining agreement that went into place last year. Evidently, he was called for a technical foul and must have given the money sign, inferring that the referee was taking some money, taking some bribes. So we'll see how that goes. Finally, in some weird news today, let's go to this story. The growing non-alcoholic beverage industry has led stores that sell beer, wine, and liquor to start stocking up on non-alcoholic beverages. But now, out in Washington, D.C., the first and only store that sells exclusively non-alcoholic drinks is up and running. And that is at Union Market in Washington, D.C. It's on a temporary basis, though it's a test run for a permanent store. Daryl Collins said that's because he believes there's a market for it. So, I don't know. What do you think? Would you shop at a non-alcoholic liquor store? Is that what you call it? A place that only sells non-alcoholic drinks? I guess that's a thing. I don't really drink all that much anyway, so I wouldn't know. Those are your stories from the weird. Let's jump into some law and disorder. In some disorder, last month a 24-year-old man from Peachtree City, Georgia, revealed that he was drugged, kidnapped, and robbed during a night out at a bar in Atlanta's popular Buckhead district in the summer of 2022. Now, other young men are also stepping forward to say that they had similar experiences at Buckhead watering holes, with incidents detailed from November of 2021 through February of 2024. NBC News says it has talked with 6 men so far, as well as reviewed police reports for 2 others. So I guess if you're drinking in the Buckhead district in Atlanta, look out for some spiked drinks. Also, in the files of law and disorder, deceased goats. Some deceased goats in western Michigan pointed Calhoun County deputies in the direction of a much larger investigation over the weekend. Deputies had been called to Cooper Avenue near Burton Street on Saturday for an animal welfare complaint, found 4 dead goats at the back of the property. However, their welfare check quickly turned into a drug bust. After getting a search warrant, deputies went back to the property Sunday to check for more animals. However, they instead found a large illegal marijuana growing operation in one of the buildings. Over 140 marijuana plants and other equipment were taken from the property. So, did the dead goats and the marijuana have anything to do with each other? I'm not sure. But dead goats and marijuana in western Michigan. Let's check in. Got to bring up this graphic. We got to check in with Dr. Stacy Freeze at Lifetime Dental, and we got to do some good news.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news.
Where the good news is the bad news. Don't get the final say.
Dr. Stacy Freeze at Lifetime Dental Solutions in Sigourney, accepting new patients. 641-622-2669. Serving Sigourney and the surrounding area for the past 10 years. Dr. Stacy Freeze giving us something to smile about on this Tuesday morning. And that something, let's bring this story up so I can read it. During a sunny morning on Florida's Gulf Coast last month, an 11-year-old golden retriever named Hunter bounded through a pine grove. Now, a passerby might not have even noticed that his playful golden retriever had only 3 legs. But for Deanna Hutchins, the dog's owner, it seems almost unthinkable that 2 years ago, her dog was diagnosed with a form of cancer, a form of bone cancer that kills upwards of 65% of the dogs it afflicts within 12 months. That was in his left front leg. Now, for many years, Hunter worked alongside his owner as a search and rescue dog, helping find victims of building collapses and other disasters. He no longer performs those duties, but still helps Hutchins train other dogs. Now, after 2 years since his initial diagnosis, Hunter, the dog, the golden retriever, has no signs of cancer. The dog's life-saving treatment incorporated typical approaches, including amputation of the left leg and chemotherapy. But Hunter also received what they call a novel therapy, a cancer vaccine developed by Yale. The treatment, a form of immunotherapy that is currently under review by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, which regulates animal treatments, has been subject to multiple clinic trials over the past 8 years, and the results seem to be promising. The hundreds of dogs, including Hunter, the vaccine has proved effective for those dogs. And a professor of medicine at Yale, the School of Medicine, believes the vaccine offers a badly needed weapon in the fight against canine cancer. The doctor says that his own dog died of inoperable cancer about 11 years ago, and that dogs, just like humans, suffer greatly from their types of cancers. So, again, a novel cancer vaccine being offered for dogs, providing some hope there. That's some good news brought to us by Dr. Stacy Fries at Lifetime Dental. And finally today, let's go to a moment of duh.
Duh.
In some duh today, how would you like to be on an airplane where not one, but both of the pilots are sleeping at the wheel? As an air flight carrying 153 passengers and 4 flight attendants had 2 sleeping pilots at the controls for about a half an hour. An inquiry into the Indonesian airline has been opened following the January 25th incident. Per a preliminary report by the country's National Transportation Safety Committee, the pilot had not gotten enough sleep the night before. About an hour and a half after takeoff, he asked his co-pilot to take over so that he could rest. The co-pilot agreed, but with 1-month-old twins at home, he too needed some rest and accidentally fell asleep while the captain was still napping. So both of them were asleep. They were asleep for 28 minutes, per the report, after which the captain woke up and realized what had happened and that the plane had gotten off course. The control center had been trying to get in touch with them, so he did respond to their calls and corrected the flight path. The plane landed safely. No one on board was harmed in the incident, but the pilots involved, ages 28 and 32, are temporarily suspended. That is some duh. That is your morning wake up here on Steve Shetler Media, brought to us by our friends Eddie Pearson and crew at Home Plate Sports Cards in Oskaloosa, 1516 A Avenue East. You can call 641-676-1516. Stop in Wednesday through Friday during the evenings, Saturday noon to 6, Sunday noon to 4. Home Plate Sports Cards in Oskaloosa. One last look at our forecast for today, brought to us by the Garden Gate. Partly sunny today, a high of 71, and breezy southwest winds. Could see some showers and thunderstorms moving in later on tonight. All right, that does it for the morning wake up, brought to us by Home Plate Sports Cards. We're live from Oski Dental Studios. Coming up later on, we've got the In Remembrance Of video at 8 a.m. At noon, we'll have What's Happening in Southeast Iowa. Successful Farming coming up at 5:30. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get a video from Jackie at Be the Light Ministry coming up this evening. All right, that does it for today. You guys have a great Tuesday. Otherwise, we'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.